Welcome to another edition of the Business and Personal Podcast, where we bring you closer to the people you do business with. And today I'm excited to have Eric Zawicki on. He's with Health Markets here in the Metro Detroit area, and he has some great information about some savings that a lot of people can benefit from on their health insurance plans. So, Eric, first of all, thanks for joining us on your busy day. How are you doing today?
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Thanks for having me. So far so good. Looking forward to spring here.
Absolutely. We'll probably get a little bit of snow here and there yet, I'm sure, but it's coming.
Yeah.
So, Eric, it's kind of interesting. We have him on here today kind of by accident because he had emailed me. He emails all his customers about different opportunities that are out there in the marketplace. And he emailed me about a big chance to save money potentially on my health insurance. I did not qualify for it. So kind of sent it to me by accident, but it really intrigued me of, man, how many people can benefit from this right now that are struggling to pay their health insurance. So, Eric, first of all, give a general overview of the American Rescue Act, and we'll kind of break it down as we go. But what is this opportunity that's available for people right now?
Yeah. So current administration had passed I think it was like a $2 trillion bill here recently. And part of that was the American Rescue Act is what they're calling it. And what that's doing is it's allowing consumers who have to purchase their own health insurance. So meaning they're not on an employer plan, they're not on Medicare, but they purchase their own individual health insurance. It's allowing them to keep their same plan, but they've increased the tax credits. So essentially, you can get your same plan that you're happy with now and get it for a less price as of April 1st.
And one of my biggest takeaways when I looked at all the bullet points of this is the increased threshold. You can be further away from the poverty level now to qualify the normal. It used to be a 400% income above the poverty level. It's
Right.
up to 600% now. So
Yeah.
by your estimation, this could affect as many as 10 million Americans.
Yeah, it's gonna affect a lot of people, especially in the Metro Detroit area. A lot of the clients that we work with, whose incomes were a little bit higher, are now being able to qualify for these tax credits. So we're seeing some significant reduction in their premium costs.
I think the message is pretty simple. I mean, anybody that has to go out and get their own insurance absolutely should contact you to see if they should qualify. If you're confused about whether or not you qualify, just pick up a phone and
Yep.
ask you to take a look at it, right? Because there's no cost to do so.
Yeah, everything we do is free. We're compensated through the carriers. We obviously are going to make sure that you have the right plan. We can look at other options if need be. But the important part for people out there that are paying for their own health insurance right now, you have a window here from April 1st to August 15th to be able to take advantage of these tax credits. So I would just urge everyone to do it, whether it's with me or their agent that they're happy with now. This is just basically free money that's on the table.
And it's not just for 2021. This is all the way till the end of 2022, right? And
Yeah.
even if someone didn't jump in right on April 1st, they're going to go back retroactively and look at what you may have missed out on, and you get that back as a tax credit, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, these tax credits are going to extend not only through the remainder of this year, but they also are going to be part of 2022 as well. So you can take advantage of this for the next, 18 to 20 months. Anybody that has their own health insurance out there.
And for those wondering, how do you figure out what income we're working with to see if somebody qualifies? You're actually estimating income. It's not a review right now to get started. It's not a review of tax returns, correct?
Right. It's not what you've made in the past. It's not what you have in assets. It's what you estimate your income to be for 2021.
So I think the key takeaway when you and I were discussing this, though, is if someone has a bigger year, say in 2021 than they planned on, they should be prepared to set money aside, right? Because they will owe some of that back on tax time next year, correct?
Right. Yeah. And with COVID, we can understand that, right? Everybody's businesses have been up or down, right? A little bit. The key is that when you do get a tax credit from the federal marketplace, when you file your taxes, so if you get a tax credit in 2021, you file your tax credits in 2022, your tax person or your CPA, they'll reconcile that tax credit. And I've seen where some people had to pay a little bit of their tax credit back, but I've also seen where people have gotten money back because they overestimated. So it works both ways. It's not a penalty. It's a simple reconciliation of what you actually made.
Yeah, I just think it's not a sit it and forget it kind of thing. You should be in communication with your agent. You should be in communication
Yeah.
with your accountant, and just make sure you're prepared for whatever's
Yeah,
coming your way.
it's important. I always tell the clients, if you have a life change, so if you have change in job, change in income, change in family size, you always have to contact your agent, because those things are going to affect your premiums, and your premiums may go up a little bit, they may go down a little bit. So it's always important that when you have a life change, to contact someone like myself, so that way you make sure you guys are in the best position.
Absolutely. Communication is always the key in anything, right?
Yep.
So what about people that have Cobra, Eric? How would this affect them?
Yeah, one of the nice things as part of this bill is for people that are going to be eligible or are currently eligible for Cobra, whether it be voluntary or involuntary Cobra, their premiums are actually going to be subsidized and brought down to zero starting April 1st through September. So if you have some listeners out there that are on Cobra, they really need to get a hold of their group administrator and find out that if the plan that they have is eligible for these subsidies.
Again, so that's just a case by case basis on
Yep.
those. What about people might be concerned? Yeah, this sounds great to save money, but I don't want to lose my doctor. I'm familiar
Right.
with my doctor. I don't want to have to change doctors. Would they have to if they go with one of these new plans?
Yeah, that's one of the things that we do is, one of the big things when anybody comes to me is we try to find a plan that, meets their doctors, covers their specialists. We're always looking at things like that before we determine what plan's best for us. But the law itself is not actually making you change your plan. What it's doing is it's providing extra tax credits to keep your current plan. So I stress this enough. If you love the plan that you have, you've had it for a year or 2 years or 3 years, even, you want to keep it, you're not changing your plan. All you're doing is getting more of a tax credit. So the cost of your plan that you love is going down, is essentially what it's doing. And when we do that, we're finding that a lot of customers are being able to free up some cash flow. So then we can add things like life insurance or an accident plan, or even even a dental plan, to kind of maybe enhance what they have at a lower cost than what they're paying now. So it's a really good benefit, not only, for for us as an agency to be able to help people out, but really for the consumer to basically kind of build up their plan a little bit, get some more benefits at a less cost.
So, and it seems like there's a couple different things at play here. So you might have someone that signed up after April 1st, 3 or 4 months down the line, and some of that money they have to wait till their taxes to get back because they didn't sign up right by April 1st. But
Right.
once you're signed up, immediately on your monthly premiums, you see the lower payment. You don't have to wait all the way till the end of the tax year, correct?
Yep, 100%. So if you sign up in April, your premiums start May 1st. If you sign up in May, June 1st. If you sign up in June, July 1st. So that's why it's important to act fast if you want to get those premium savings right away. You'd want to sign up in April if you wanted to start right away, come May here. Once May comes around, then it's going to start June 1st.
So the only thing you would have to wait for is the money you get back from the time you started backing up to April 1st.
Right.
You get back
Right.
at the end of the tax year.
Yep.
Now, what about deductible situations too? So if you have someone that maybe had some medical issues already early this year, maybe they're already at their deductible on the current plan. How does that affect all this transition? And if you've hit your deductible, would this still make sense?
Yeah, and that's why that's important to know those things up front when we have that client discussion. Because if you've already met your deductible for the year, or you're already maybe halfway to your deductible for the year, we're going to want to keep you in the same plan. So again, we're just going to update your application so you can get the additional tax credits, but we're going to keep you in the same exact plan, so that way you don't have to re-meet your deductible again.
Very good. And again, communication is the key.
Yep.
Doesn't hurt to pick up a phone. You know all the answers. Throw
Yep.
all the questions your way, and you can plug it in to see if they qualify.
Yep, we try. Yep, that's exactly what we do.
So what about unemployment benefits and how they factor into all of this?
Yeah, so one of the kind of caveats of the bill is that the American Rescue Act is stating that if you received one unemployment check in the year of 2021, you could be eligible for a zero premium health plan. So regardless of what your income is, if you receive that one unemployment check, you're going to be eligible for a zero premium health plan through the marketplace. Now, with that being said, we have some additional, I guess, communication coming down to us at the marketplace. They say that they're going to have that availability come early summer. So we're hoping by June 1st, we'll have the exact, details on that. But if you know anybody or you come across somebody that's on unemployment, they may have that ability to get a plan like that.
So I want to run through a scenario for you here. So let's say someone qualifies right now for
Yep.
this. How long is that premium locked in for? Is it just through the end of this year and then gets reviewed again in 2022?
Yeah, so for someone on unemployment, it would be basically just for the remainder of this year. Once this year has ended, we would have to reassess their situation at that time to find out what their premium would be for 2022. So it's just a short stint. But again, for people out there that are struggling a little bit and are on unemployment, not on their own or because they wanted to be, it's a great little benefit for someone that, thinks that, man, I can't even afford health insurance right now.
Every little bit helps right now, man.
Yeah.
Now, what about the reverse? Someone makes too much money right now, doesn't qualify right now. Are they totally shut out of the program, or will there be other opportunities down the road?
Yeah, so they necessarily aren't going to qualify for a tax credit, obviously, but they still can shop their health plan. So some people, if you made a decision back in January and you're kind of second guessing yourself, or you bought a plan real quickly and you didn't really have an opportunity to review it with someone that knew what was different in all these options. Anybody, regardless if they qualify for a tax credit or not, can still review and change your plan between April 1st and August 15th. So it still makes sense for those people to give us a call, because we can also look at other options too that might not be part of a marketplace that could be more beneficial for them.
And then there's another enrollment period in 2022, right? Where maybe
Yep.
they would qualify at the beginning of next year, right?
Yeah. So if the deadline sticks, which these things can change, obviously, right? So the deadline sticks at 8/15. The next time to enroll would be starting November 1st through December 15th.
The traditional open enrollment.
That's a traditional one. Yeah.
For insurance. What about someone that has a life event after August 15th, lose their job, income takes a major dip, so they had tried to apply, maybe didn't qualify, but then they do after August 15th. What options are available for them?
Yeah, so people can still qualify for what they call a special enrollment period. So if you lose your job, you have a baby, you get married, you get divorced, you move, you have an income situation, change severely. The marketplace will give anybody a 60-day window to make a change to their coverage. So let's say September comes around and you get married, right? You'll have a 60-day window from when you got married to be able to change your plan. So you can still enroll year round, but during those times you have to have a specific life-changing event to be eligible.
That's why it's good to get as much information about this out there, because it may not be top of mind for someone right now, but if something happens later in the year, they can look back, hey, I remember hearing about that thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Into it.
Yeah.
So you said you're already, you're less than 2 weeks into this, and you're already taking tons of applications from some of your existing clients. What have you seen so far? What sort of savings and success stories have you been able to pull together?
Yeah, a lot of traction. Our office here in Troy, we have about 20 agents that work out of this office. Me personally, my assistants and I, we're booking about anywhere from 5 to 10 appointments a day in terms of people that want to review their coverage. So we're going through these every day. On average, I would say the typical individual is saving anywhere from $50 to $100 a month on their premiums. I've had some families of 4 that have saved $400 or $500 a month on their health insurance premiums.
Wow, that's amazing. And just to be clear, they don't have to be your current customers. You're just starting out reaching to those folks, but anybody can reach out to you regardless of who their insurance is with right now, correct?
Doesn't matter. And if at any event, if I can just point you in the right direction, I'll do that,
So, you've got a lot of experience in this profession. This has to be one of the more unique things that you've seen come across your desk in all the years you've been doing this, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would say this is probably the biggest thing that's happened. I guess this is the biggest disruptor that's happened to this industry since probably 2014 when the Affordable Care Act first came into play, right? So, 2014 was super busy because it was brand new to everybody. But from a disruption standpoint, this is the most I've ever seen to where an individual can physically save money on their health insurance. Um, that I've seen in the last, 5 years of doing these Affordable Care Act plans. So the opportunity I believe is huge. And I think to your point, Ryan, I mean, most people are saying they just can't, they don't believe it, right? Because it is kind of too good to be true, but it's here, you got to take action.
Are there any other questions you've been getting from some of these applicants that we haven't covered here, Eric? Maybe some other important pointers that you want people to know about?
Yeah, I think you hit on it pretty good. I would say the important thing is to get an appointment set up. Um, you know, make sure that the person that you're working with is qualified and licensed to sell within the marketplace. People are buying plans out there sometimes over the phone with their credit cards. And what we find out is that they're not actually buying plans. So when you buy a health plan in our state of Michigan here, you have to buy a Affordable Care Act qualified plan to get a tax credit. You can't buy a plan that's not part of that and get a tax credit. So you make sure you get buy qualified plans. So that's one of the big things that we're seeing now. There are some maybe agencies out there or telemarketing companies out there that are selling people plans that are not part of this program. So you got to make sure that you really work with someone that you trust, so that way you make sure you can take advantage of the law that's really of the land at this point.
And is there a list of this? I just kind of started thinking about a list
Yeah,
of life events that if this happened after August 15th,
yeah,
that people would know that would be a trigger, like that qualifies or that qualifies. Is there
yeah,
somewhere they can go to find that list?
yeah. If you go to healthcare.gov, they'll have life events. So you just go to healthcare.gov, search life events. Also, if you go to our website, which is healthmarkets.com, you can do the same thing there as well.
Okay. Anything else new and exciting at Health Markets you want to share? It's an open forum for you to get anything else out there that you want people
Yeah,
to.
I would say to your listeners out there, we're local. I've been doing this business since 2005, so it's been over 15 years for myself. Our office is in Troy, Michigan. We service the whole state of Michigan. We also service other states as well. So if you have family members or friends that live somewhere else, we can still help them out as well. And then we're centrally located, right? So our office in Troy is right at Rochester Road and Long Lake, right on the corner there. And you can feel free to give us a call. You mind if I share my phone number?
No, please. That was the
Yeah,
next question I was going to ask. So there's
yeah,
certainly going to be some people curious if they qualify. What's the easiest way to reach out to you?
yeah. Just call our local office here. It's 248-850-4000. So again, that's 248-850-4000. Or you put in Eric Zawicki Troy and it'll come up with Facebook, Google, and all the other social media platforms out there.
Can they apply online too, or do you usually suggest a phone call?
Yeah, they can price and apply online. I would suggest reviewing your application with a professional first to make sure that you're taking advantage of all the benefits that are available. But yeah, you can definitely apply on your own. You don't have to use an agent to do that. But
I'm
I would.
sorry. I'm sorry, Erica. Can they apply for an appointment with you
Oh, apply for appointment.
online?
Yeah, yeah. So they can. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so you can book right online. So if you go to our Facebook page or our website, you can actually book an appointment right online with us. And I can even share a link with you too, Ryan, if you need that for the.
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest anybody out there, don't try to go to the website yourself and figure this
Yeah.
out. Get a professional that knows every single thing that's available to you. Take
Yep.
full advantage of every dollar. Every dollar counts,
Yeah.
right?
That's right.
So Eric, hey, thanks so much for coming on here. Like I said, as soon as I saw that email, man, this can really impact a lot of people. I hadn't seen it really promoted anywhere else, so
Right.
it's good to get this information out, and hopefully this gets enough people curious to send them your way, and you take it from there.
Yeah. Great, man. I appreciate your time and say hi to all the fellow Metro Detroit listeners.
All right, well, take care, Eric.
Thanks.
Yep, bye.